Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very special online event today. It's called Finding a Higher Purpose with Improvisational Native American Style Flute. Shift your mind from self-judgment to a creative flow state for deep soul expression. My name is Stephen Dunn. I'm the founder and president of the Shift Network, and it's always a good day when we get to spend time with Christine Stevens, who's our featured faculty here today. She's such a bright light and really is so uplifting and really helps us use music as a path of transformation and liberation and upliftment, even if you don't have any musical background. Today, we're going to get to explore deeper the flute with her, and I'll share a little bit about her before we bring her on. She's a speaker, she's an author, and a music therapist. She's worked in very frontier zones to promote peace in places like Iraq. She's taught quite a number of programs at Shift and just is always beloved for the quality of presence, energy, and upliftment she brings. So, Christine, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Stephen. It's nice to be here with you.
Great. Well, I know we're going to dive in. You got some cool stuff planned for us. I do want to let everyone know right up front that we have a brand new course with Christine called Improvisational Flute for a Higher Purpose. We're going to share a little bit more about that towards the end of the hour if you get sparked to go further. So, Christine, why don't we start with a little bit about your journey particularly with the improvisational Native American flute?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, here's the flute that started my journey. And I picked up this flute at a powwow in Colorado. I was a music therapy student at Colorado State University. And I was a saxophone player, but what a difference to play an instrument that's made from wood, that has a very sacred origin and has been played in sacred ways. It really combined my spiritual path and my music therapy healing path. I actually never thought about that till I'm just saying that to you right now. And it's interesting because I think so often we have a lot of interests, and it's so nice to find something that is a bridge of all those aspects that can hold it all in the flute. And so I started to play this in my music therapy practice, in my peace work. I've played at the Agape International Spiritual Center. I know we both know Reverend Michael Beckwith, and I had the great chance to play for the meditation service before he would come on and give the service with this flute. And then that led to many other flutes and continuing to teach here at Shift Network and finding ways that I could introduce people to this instrument, because the way that it works, and we have this word improvisation, which contains the word improve, because improvisation improves your brain. You're in the moment. You're not planning the future. You're not worrying about making a mistake from a sheet of paper. And I spent a lot of time, many of us are survivors of piano lessons, and we spend a lot of time worrying about, I don't want to make the wrong note. But when we get into an instrument like this with these beautiful 5 notes, and that is just the basic scale, all of a sudden you don't have to worry about playing right or wrong, which is important in our consciousness of our lives. To talk about non-dual, practice. And I really find that in my own life, it really starts in our lives, right? It really is a way for me to get out of critical self-criticism, which has been a real problem for me in my life. And many people, maybe you can relate to that as you're listening to this call, or past and future thinking. And that way of improvisation, that way of not worrying about a wrong note, just being able to play simple things on this instrument and slowing me down. It's a breath instrument. It's not like the drum. You breathe with it. And we know that scientifically there's a lot happening with breath work now. The long extended breath is what happens when you play this instrument. So it has a lot of, I would say, spiritual, psychological, internal expression benefits to me and to all those who have found this instrument. Or maybe you're listening to this call and going, maybe I'll get one because even the gentleman who created High Spirits Flutes, Odell, he always says that it's an instrument that you can start playing pretty well within the first, 30, 40 minutes of it, no matter what. So that's a great aspect of accessibility.
Mm. And as you said, really taking you out of that self-judgment and criticism that so many of us associate with music, and just bringing it to the joy and the presence in the moment. So beautiful, that background. Well, I know you wanted to make today very experiential and start us off with a practice together, and also bring in your musician friend, Joe. You want to introduce him?
Yes, come on in, Joe. Um, what I thought I would do for everybody who's joining us on this call or this recording is some practice that's very popular today is called earthing. And it's the idea of taking your shoes off and feeling the frequency of our Mother Nature, Pachamama, Unchimalkan. So we're really feeling that through this instrument I want to bring in. And I'll have Joe join me with the drum and the rattle. So this is a branch flute. It's made with a young birch deadfall branch. And Stephen Rensick created this for me, and I've used it so much in my healing work. I used this for a whole year playing for people with COVID during that time in a sound healing clinic online, and found great results with this. It reduced pain, stress, and anxiety. So we're going to bring it in with, hi, Joe.
Hello, everyone.
This is Joe Hunt from Jackson Hole. We met each other at the Hootenanny, at the Jackson Hole Hootenanny, kind of a famous place for musicians to meet.
Definitely. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So we're going to just give you a chance to, if you will, take a breath. You could even take your shoes off wherever you are. And if you close your eyes while we do this invocation, what I found in my study with the COVID situation was that people have spontaneous imagery when they hear the flute. And the reason we're playing with the drum and the rattle, this rattle, is from the pebbles that are around ant hills. That's a traditional inside of a rattle and a hide and a little fur from a coyote. And so what we're bringing you is the trilogy of the drum, rattle, and flute. The drum is the lower world, the rattle is the middle world, and the flute reaches us upward. And that's all I need to say, because the rest is going to be said in the music. So let's begin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What a blessing. Just that to really shift us into a whole different mode of being. There's a kind of a vast open sky quality to the environment that opens with that. It just feels like we're almost soaring on the winds.
I think so often that's that breath instrument quality. And also, the bird nation is very connected to the flute. The origin story of the Native American style flute is that the woodpecker made the holes in the branch and the wind sang the first notes.
Hmm.
And so I think that that's why I like improvisation. Everything we just played was completely improvisational. We didn't plan that. I even played in a little slightly different tonality than I planned. So I love, even though we might have practiced in the moment, that's the beauty of improvisation. You can only be in the present moment. And I wanted to also thank the land I'm on. I'm here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, the land of the Shoshone Bannock. And I've had the great chance to meet more and more of the tribal people of this area, from the Wind River Reservation, the Cheyenne, the Northern Arapaho, the Shoshone, and recently Lakota, when Orville Looking Horse just came to bless the white buffalo calf that was born in Yellowstone. So it's a real privilege to feel that earth through sound, through music. And I'm glad you felt some imagery. That's the whole idea,
Hmm.
is we can close our eyes anytime and be somewhere else. It's
Hmm.
great.
Well, I imagine it takes a little more than the 30 seconds to sort of play like you just did, but it is, I love that you're sharing how much easier it is with the flute to really just be in that kind of dance of the unknown and improvisation and playing and experiencing the liberation of that. So I would love for you to, like, I know you have some high level teachings about about this, and let's dive into that now, and so we understand things on a deeper level as well as just emotionally appreciating.
I always like to share a little bit about the context of what I want to talk about today, and bring you into an experience. And Joe's here to help us have that experience of this scale. This scale is 5 note pentatonic scale that is the natural scale of the flute. Scale simply means I guess the procession of the notes up and down the flute. La 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 la. And I think of it as the song of the earth. It's the scale of the earth. It's really a very earthy tribal sound. I've run into this scale from Japan to China to Brazil, and certainly in my time with Native American traditional events. So I wondered if I can put up 2 slides just to highlight a little bit more about this instrument and what we'll be exploring in this call. So we can put up the slides when you're ready. So first, I wanted to share an image of a great museum in Phoenix, Arizona, the Musical Instrument Museum, that I recently visited, and I was blown away by this exhibit of the flutes. From Carlos Nakai's famous flutes, even his regalia, his wardrobe that he wore. Carlos Nakai has been a great teacher to me and to many of us. And also, there was an exhibit of really old flutes, flutes made with bone, a bare bone. Some of the earliest flutes now date back to 60,000 years. In caves in Slovenia, a cave in Germany 35,000 years ago, a flute made with an eagle or a bird bone. Some of the flutes that I saw in this exhibit were made with sugar cane. It was just, people have been making flutes all over the world, is what I felt when I stood there. But I really loved the image you can see on the right of just bone with 3 holes. It's like I believe that the ancient flutes that they've found have the same spacing between the holes as our scale now. And that's significant. So we're really tapping into something ancient here. Next slide. So what I really want to share with you is a bit of a transmission that comes from my walking with this instrument for more than 20 years in healing contexts. And it's my feeling about this scale is that it's each note has a power to it. And I want to take you through these notes and their meanings to me. And then we'll just do some experiencing around these notes of the scale. I'm going to use the flute that's in the image of the slide, my first Christy Coons flute made with rosewood or heartwood. So it's a very beautiful flute. And the significance is when we begin, we actually call in music, the bottom note is called the root. I mean, talk about earthing, right? It's the root. It's the fundamental. It's the beginning. It's the bottom note, and it establishes our tonality. So maybe if you want to get your guitar, and we'll just get right into action here. And have you just, if you feel like you can sing this tone or just, tone it a little or just listen. So that's the bottom note of my flute. So as I play, just feel that bassness to it. Like this is the bottom. I'm going to feel it at the root of my spine. This is the beginning of something going to happen. You can just go, ah, and you can play around the root, ah. So what do you feel right now? Just tuning into that note. And we'll go to the next note of the scale, the next note up, which is a third, because you skipped the second note of the scale. Let's just hang in the G minor for a minute with that. So now this next note, I call it the mood note, because the next note of the scale, it opens my heart. It's like if I play a major or a minor, if I play the next note in the scale, it feels, we call it minor. I like to call it lunar or inward or contemplative or reverent. So let's feel into that note. How beautiful that interval, just going, ah. So sing along with us. Beautiful. Just take a breath and notice what that second note in the scale, which is the third note in the series. There's usually la, 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 and we skip out la, and we just go la, la. The pentatonic scale is interesting to me because it's more what's left out. And if you've felt that on the spiritual path, I sure have, right? It's what we give away. It's what we let go of. And so the scale has that quality. So that's our mood note. And we're going to go to the fourth note, or the third note in the scale, fourth interval. And I call it the longing note, because this is the note in the scale that makes me go, what It's kind of the question. You can take down the slide. I don't know if it's off, but yes, it is. But that's the longing note. It's this, you'll feel it when I play it. It's kind of, what? It kind of asks a question. It's the only note really in this scale that has a tendency to feel like it wants resolution. And actually, as a music therapist, when I worked in hospice, I really used this note a lot. And I use its quality of, asking when we're so confused in grief, or we miss someone and we feel the longing. Here we go. This note sounds like this. Yeah, maybe we should go to the C. You feel that? La. You can go back and forth. So Joe and I are improvising, so sorry we have to figure it out in the moment with you in this moment, which is cool. So we're going to just go for those first three notes and just feel that quality. La, la, la. Feel that? La la la. La 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 la. Lean into our longing, right? La 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 la. And the next note, which is the fifth, brings us the answer. So now we go. Note has a stability. It's the partner between the bottom and this middle note. Root and fifth. It's like super sacred geometry, this combination. We call it the drone in India. It has this open, spacious connection. So now we're at the answer. We're at the stability. We've been hanging in the longing, and now we bring in the answer. Let's keep going. Yeah, that's great. La, 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 la. There's the fifth note. La, 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 la. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey. Maybe we can go to the 5 chord.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. The 5 to the 4. Hey, hey. Feel that? Let's go back to that strong fifth. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, no wrong notes. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. One more note to learn. Now we go to, beautiful, Joe. Thank you. You can see this guitar has been strummed a lot. And so now we get to this higher note. I call it the lifting note. Really feel this when you hear this now. This note also wants to resolve up. This top note is the sixth note of the 5-note scale because it's a repeat of the bottom. And it's called the octave, the higher octave. I love the metaphor of this. So the lifting note is a 5th note, and then we go to the higher octave. And on the spiritual path, as we shift, we often feel, wow, I'm at a higher octave. Everything feels a little brighter, and this note is brighter. And you notice those things when you've experienced the spiritual shift. A cosmic perception comes through. All of a sudden, there's a higher frequency. So that's what I love about this scale. Let's just play with the longing note. Just give me the G minor because you'll really feel it against that. Feel that? So we have that. Let's sing it. It wants to lift us, right? Let's play with this now. Now we've got the concept of each note, what it feels like. These are my thoughts about it. It might feel different to you, of course, but I believe you can feel, and please experience this with us, tap your foot, clap, play your voice, play your flute, feel, and we'll do a little call and response. Here we go. Good to start on the root. The mood. La 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 la. Going to the longing. La 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 la. La 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 la, the 5th. La 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 la. Going up to that lifting note. La 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 la. Feel the higher octave. We just came all the way. La 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 la. repeat after me. La, la, la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, la, la. La, 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 la. I feel like I need the earth today. I'm really like noticing I'm landing on that note a lot. La, 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 la. Hey, hey, ya. Hey, hey, ya. Now just pick a note. What note resonated with you just now? Are you needing more root? La. More emotion? La. More longing? La, la. More strength? La, la. More upliftment? La. Higher octave? La. Pick your note. And then play with the other notes around it, right? La 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 la. Hey 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 yeah. And I'll close us out with a little flute. It's really good to end a moment like this with just silence and a breath. Thank you so much, Joe Hunt, singer-songwriter, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, guitar player,
Thank you.
beautiful soul and musician. He's going to be playing in one of the modules of the upcoming class. So thank you for making time to be with us, Joe.
Well, what a pure delight that was. Just, I feel like it's opening up a new world of understanding how each note kind of opens its own new portal to different dimensions of ourselves. And really so fun too, just to be able to dance in and out of that and sing along with you. I was singing along a bit, trying to just follow what you were doing. So it's just really so liberating and fun. Well, I know that there's also, so in addition to the quality of each note, I know you also sometimes work with invoking different spirits with the whole improvisation and playing. Maybe share a little bit about how you can call upon and connect with specific animals or different allies in this process.
Great. So much of my journey since I found this instrument at a powwow, there's never any coincidences, right? It found me. Have been playing, really, one of my first teachers was birds. You know, I would just take this on hikes and play with the bird sounds around me. I remember hiking in Japan with my small little pocket flute, and I was copying this bird. I was in Kamakura, and my Japanese language is pretty limited, but there was a monk walking on this path, and he stopped and smiled and kind of bowed to me. And I pointed up to the bird, to the sky, and I said, "Sensei." And he said, "Ah, wabi sabi." Wakarimashita ne. Because I was like, that's my teacher. And so much of, I feel like, you know, it's important to connect to, many of us have animal spirits, animal guides, the sounds of nature, like connecting to the coyote energy, or when I go on floats and I bring my flute and I play to eagles that are singing, you know, in the trees above me on the Snake River. somehow it seems like these notes, this scale, can match a lot of birds. The chickadee. It's not that hard, just two notes. The origin of the scale, some people think that it comes from a bird song. I mean, there's a patu bird in South America that actually sings la 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 la. You hear the bird song, it's like crazy. So I feel like the aspect too, like we said about the birds and winging it, improvisation is totally winging it. And so when you felt that, like, wow, I could feel like I'm soaring in the beginning, that I think that's a real aspect of this experience of this instrument.
Hmm. Do you often start an improvisation with an intention to connect with a particular nature spirit or animal, or is it sort of like also just emerge as you go?
Both paths. I really like working with these card decks. Like I have a nature spirit card deck. I have the Dr. Emoto water deck, the water crystals. So I really like to either these improvisational prompts, they come from within us or they come from something outside us, right? Or the relationship of those probably. So sometimes it's fun. Your playing can get stagnant left alone to yourself. So sometimes it's really fun to pick a card. So I pick a card and it's, coyote, and I start cracking up. Exactly. I'm taking my flute playing way too seriously. A book that I really love is Ted Andrews' book, Animal Spirit Speaks. And I can just look it up. Okay, coyote, why is there a fox in my yard? What's the meaning of that? So it might be that I want to connect very consciously to the energy of the eagle. Or I was very grateful to know Mary Youngblood. She's been a great teacher, a colleague of mine, and she has a beautiful song. It's called Silent Wolf, inspired by just that energy. I'll just play you the beginning of it and you'll feel that quality of that wolfness. What else can you say about that? So yeah.
That is definitely the wolf. Very cool. Well, there's so many dimensions to what you're doing, and I know that that we could go a lot further. And I also want to give people a chance to hear about your upcoming course, which I think is such a unique and blessed opportunity to dive into this work. And I know more than anything that you make learning and playing and growing spiritually fun. You make it uplifting, you make it healing, and but in a way that's just kind of light and opening to new dimensions of yourself. So people will be really blessed if they choose to study further with you. So Christine has created this brand new program, and it's called Improvisational Flute for a Higher Purpose. Playfully free yourself from inhibitions and connect to a creative flow with the Native American style flute. And you can find it at the URL nativefluteimprov.com, nativefluteimprov.com. It's a 7-week program. You don't have to have any musical background for this. It's really part of the beauty and blessing of working with the Native American style flute is that you can pick it up quickly and make things that are beautiful, that liberate, that start to play with without a lot of background, without any background. So Christine, I'd love for you to share some of your intentions for this program on the high level, and then we can dive into what you're going to be doing in the modules.
Well, I thank you for your sweet comments. I mean, I do feel like the fun of working with me in these online courses is that I've been teaching a lot online. So I've really gotten more comfortable with this method and learning how to teach in this platform. And I love that people from 35 countries have taken our flute classes. So it's really a global community that gathers with the flute. But part of the fun is just music. I can't take credit for that. It's just a powerful path. Hazrat Naya Khan says, it's like music of life. A great Sufi teacher is that music is a path, a mystical path. And it doesn't matter if you ever studied or not. I mean, everybody is born musical. I mean, research shows that all of us at age 2 make up songs without anyone teaching us how to. It's called the songwriting instinct. You know, children do this too. So we all have this improvisation in us. The motivation for this specific course and the title, Playing for a Higher Purpose, is very intentional of the benefit of getting out of what's, kind of called the ruminating brain, where we're just like thinking about ourselves, the past, the future, what's happening on social media, this sort of like loopy feeling, which is the default network of our brains, and getting into the enlightened consciousness, which is experiencing network. This is great research from Jack Kornfield's team. Many people have been studying these 2 different networks of the brain, and being in the moment and playing improvisational music, it immediately shifts us into this enlightened brain, this consciousness of being in the moment. And that's why I wanted to create a course dedicated to that aspect. Because people ask me, how many songs, I want to learn new songs. I want to learn a song on the flute. And I'm like, if you learn to improvise, you know infinite songs in your repertoire. So it's just a creatively designed class with a lot of playing and a lot of experiential prompts to help us, I think, get out of ourselves, in a way, to really notice nature differently. I want to teach you how to improvise the ridgeline of a mountain peak or a song form of the ripple. So I'm very connected to nature, and I really like to bring that into our playing. I feel like that's another higher purpose of our playing, is really being of a benefit to all beings in this time, a term that my teachers, Lakota teachers, use all the time. Mitakuye, all our relations, all our relations.
So beautifully described. Well, let's go through the modules. And this one, you have created a special kind of pre-module, or maybe module 0 would be a way to call it, which is for any brand new students of the flute. So this really starts you from a 0 baseline. And it's a beginner's flute class with young bear medicine for all new players. I'm going to share a little bit about that first. It sort of precedes the other 7 modules.
Yes, one thing I really like about doing a 7-week course is 7 is a very sacred number. And I also dedicated each session to different animal medicine or animal helper spirits. So Young Bear is also my relative. His name, Brendan, his name is Sandoval's name. We call him Young Bear. So this is just a chance before the course starts. If you're new to playing the flute, I just want to sit with you all and go over the basics.
Great. So then we go into module 1, which is called Explore a Soft Heart Practice to Experience the Freedom, Joy, and Authentic Expression that the Hummingbird Inspires.
Yes, hummingbird energy and hummingbird spirit. When you've ever watched them fly, right? Hummingbirds are amazing. They can move and change direction quickly, and bringing in that element of diving into the nectar of the flute and our heart. So this soft heart practice is a way to improvise from within yourself, within your own heart. I think of improvisation as such a sound mirror of where I'm at. Just, oh, this is a note that resonates. Oh, that's why. I don't have to analyze myself. I don't want to get analytic, but I do find that bringing in the heart center, a soft heart center, helps us play differently. You'll experience that.
Module 2, the Golden Hour Practice to Enter Gateways Between Worlds with Deer Energy.
Yes, the idea of sound and notes and flute as ways of moving between dimensions, that we can access that as the really ancient symbol of the deer in Buddhism and many other traditions, is that the gentleness, and that the deer goes into different realms. So with your flute and learning to improvise, and the time of day matters, and you'll experience this. Like when you start your day with an improv, or you're ending your day with an improv, you feel this the circle of the day, the beginning and the end. And I want you to feel how it changes your playing, when you play, where you play, what dimensions open up in our improvisation.
Module 3, creating a hook to elevate your playing with meadowlark and songbird energy.
Yeah, so we start to get into some really practical improv techniques. I'm going to teach you these great techniques of, like, for example, structure provides freedom. So we have to have a little limiter. A poet friend of mine was saying the other day, I have to use form, otherwise I'll just ramble in my writing. And I thought that's such a parallel for my flute playing. Like, I definitely can ramble and just sort of, there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to teach you really this beginning technique of structuring a hook. And when you think about the meadowlark or any bird song that you love, it's just one phrase, repeated and repeated and repeated. And so any phrase can become that hook, that repetition. And playing from a hook is so much fun. You can depart from it, you can come back to it. It can be one note. We're going to do one note, two note, three note. Just that's the most we'll do. And it's just fascinating, like the vastness that comes out of a smaller amount of notes. It's another beautiful parallel of polarity of improvisation.
I love how we learn all these different dimensions in a way that also is directly relevant to our spiritual path. So module 4, flute postcards for rewilding your soul with river medicine as your guide.
Well, the river is the great teacher of go with the flow, but also find the easiest path, and that ribbon line, which looks like a wave of music. I mean, the river I live near is called the Snake River. So I really see the ribbon and I see the movement. And so we really want to capture that with the idea of the wild. And one great gift of improvisation on the Native American style flute is this rewilding. I mean, you can growl in your flute. You can, you can squeak in your flute. You can really wake up a wild side of yourself into our natural spirit. And so that's a really important quality to improvisation. We used to say in psychodrama that the leader has to be the most spontaneous member of the group. And so I always feel like, how can I find the easy path? How can I play with ease and grace? And really practice a conscious shift. I mean, at this point in our time together at this module, I feel like we'll be able to shift completely out of that fear-based, what if I make a wrong note? We want to be completely in the love-based. I just love playing. I mean, I want you to feel that when you play. And I want you to notice what comes out of your flute when you take on that component. The idea of a flute postcard came to me. I was posting this on social media a lot. I'd be traveling and standing in a big canyon in Sedona and playing the flute, and this echo would happen from the canyon walls. So I actually created a video for the class that day. It's an 8-minute clip from Sedona. So we're going to be playing as if we're standing there. There's a video of just like being there. And I want you to feel how it rewilds you.
So cool. Module 5, then healing through improvisation to connect with bear medicine for inner awareness.
Yeah. So at this point, we take a little inward turn, the bear, the hibernation, the inner cave, to feel in some of the very specific techniques of descending scales, of really bringing it in, bringing it inward, and playing from that place and playing to that place, which is amazing. It comes from starting in silence. And kind of you alluded to that intention. And it starts with silence and then coming out of silence with playing and returning to silence. Silence is a note in our improvisation.
Next, module 6, the rhythm of jamming with others to inspire wisdom and playfulness with coyote spirit.
So Joe will be coming to that class with us. We'll be jamming to some guitar riffs and some drum, as well as playing together, playing off each other. Really hope that this course inspires people to play with others. The flute goes with a lot of things, and it's great to be in that coyote space of trickster energy and to make mistakes on purpose. and to learn we call it the John Coltrane warm-up technique. And there's some techniques and experiences that will get you freeing up. It's another great saying from Miles Davis that it's only a mistake if you don't repeat it again. So like learning how to consciously screw up and then use that as part of it. And I do that a lot. If I squeak or I miss a note, I just repeat it. And suddenly it becomes part of the beauty of the music.
Hmm. And finally, module 7, flute prayer for all our relations guided by eagle medicine.
Yeah, so we're going to have my colleague and teacher, Guillermo Martinez, flute maker. Quetzalcoatl Flutes is his company. He'll be joining us from his home and leading us in a Mexica prayer in his tradition. So we'll be learning to improvise for sacred purposes. So if you want to ever play for a meditation or a ceremony or a prayer, when you have someone, a loved one who's hurting in your life, you can really use an improvisational prayer to send a very strong, it's like a smoke signal, it's like sending out that sonic vibration. And we don't ever want to pray. We all know this, right? We don't want to pray in that like, oh, I hope you're okay and poor you. So when you musicalize this prayer and this experience of ceremony, first calling in the 4 directions, honoring the ancestors. So we're going to anchor our improvisation in that eagle medicine. There's a great prophecy of the eagle and condor coming together of the South and North American traditions. And I kind of feel like that's what's going to happen in this call in a way, is that we're really creating a sonic prophecy line, like a song line of weaving Guillermo's Mexican tradition and our North American tradition, and just really feel how that changes our playing. I feel like the whole course, obviously follows a track of a journey, but every single module really stands alone. It's like listening to you go describe them and repeat them back to me. I'm realizing it doesn't matter if you can miss one session or whatever. It's like each session has its own teaching, but I really feel at the end, you'll feel empowered to really know what works for you. That's really the whole thing everybody needs to find. I mean, we just want to give you a lot of tools, very specific, simple tools that can help you be that song. I mean, really, you're the instrument ultimately, so that you feel that in your life and you can know what you love and you can know where you love to play and you can know what time of day, and you just get to have these experiences so that any rut you're in will definitely be erased. You will have a lot more creativity.
So cool. Well, I love that it's like you're starting things in vibration, if you will, in music, sort of before it manifests in the world. So the sonic prophecy line is such a beautiful way to imagine that unification happening first through song and through music. Well, it's such a cool program. Again, there's more details at nativefluteimprov.com. And in addition to the 7 90-minute live sessions, plus the extra bonus session for beginners, you're going to get recordings of every session, both video and audio, as well as word-for-word transcripts to work with, study, and highlight. There's weekly exercises and practices you get to do at home. There's a Facebook community to support you with community and deepen your experience. There's also some small group time to practice and play and connect with other participants. And on the page, you'll see a number of extra bonuses that Christine's really been putting a lot into making the bonuses awesome for this program. There's a play-along nature video montage called Engage Your Song. You want to share anything about that one?
Well, it's a little bit further deep into what I said about imagine you're in a canyon in Sedona, because this includes filming from a buffalo field in the Yellowstone ecosystem and at a beautiful pond. So it's just giving you the idea that what we see impacts our musical expression to keep rewilding.
There's also another play-along audio track from Christine called No Wrong Notes. You want to share a bit more about that?
Yes, I custom made this 9-minute track, and it actually has 2 different rhythms in it and goes back and forth at the end. So it's helps you just improvise, I think. And the idea that there's no wrong notes, there's no tonality to this improv. It's all drums and rattles, and it's fun. It's a very fun track. It's timeless. You can play to it 100 times. It'll always be different.
That's awesome. And I also want to draw attention. There's one more bonus. It's actually three bonuses in one that you get if you sign up right away by midnight tonight Pacific time. We like to do this as a way to encourage you to sign up early. And when you have the most information about the program, when you're really here, you're feeling the power and the beauty of what Christine is offering. And then if you choose to move forward today, you'll get 3 extra bonuses in one. These are 3 flute meditation tracks that are audio backtracks. Christine, you want to share more about that special bonus folks get today?
Yeah, so I recorded these last year in the Shambhala, now known as the Drala Mountain Retreat Center in Red Feather Lakes at the Great Stupa of Dharmakaya. And so I produced them for you all. They're not released anywhere else. And I gotta tell you, the quality of sound, it was actually in the Ringden Shrine Room, if any of you have ever been to this place. And the quality of sound, the natural reverb, and it's accompanied with Tibetan singing bowls. There's a lot of connection, by the way, between Tibetans and Hopi, and connections between native culture and Tibetan culture, the mandala, the medicine wheel. And I really felt like I was really weaving these song lines in this music I created. It's made for meditation. It's really made to sit and slow down and take in the flute. It was really inspired by Nwang, who's a recording artist with Sounds True. I always listened to his music when I would go on silent retreats. So I'm hoping that you can experience that quality of the Native American style flute. I used the branch flute a lot in this recording. And even some of it I felt really channeled through a lot of the Dakini energy, the skywalkers, came through the flute. So it's a very spiritually charged location and a very spiritually charged music. Sometimes it was an improvisation, Stephen, and sometimes I would hear a song in the temple and recorded it. So it's very delicious and very centering and peaceful.
What a delicious extra reason to sign up right away to get that bonus with 3 flute meditation tracks. So it's clearly going to be an amazing journey with Christine. We've kept the investment for this program very accessible. It's just 3 payments of $128, or save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start August 28th and run Wednesdays at 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern. But even if you can't make the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings, the transcripts, and the community as well. And I also just encourage you, if you haven't already been compelled by this hour, just check out some of the testimonials. Christine just gets high kudos from everybody who participates in her programs. People just love her. It's so expansive, heart-opening, transformational, and fun to really learn from her. And you gain more skills and you liberate your soul at the same time. So it's a great combo. So you'd be in great hands if you move forward. And again, it's all at nativefluteimprov.com, nativefluteimprov.com. And the course is called Improvisational Flute for a Higher Purpose. Playfully free yourself from inhibitions and connect to a creative flow with the Native American style flute. Well, Christine, I just always love being with you. I just feel like such a blessing. And I know you also wanted to, anything that's still on your heart, you haven't shared about the course first. And I know you also wanted to close us out with some eagle medicine, I think.
Well, I want to really invite all the people that are sound healers, musicians, music therapists, seekers, people who feel a resonance with Native American tradition, people who are, who've just been interested in shifting to a higher frequency and to get into that enlightened brain. I mean, I think the whole idea of the higher purpose is that we benefit ourselves as we are a better presence on the planet today. And boy, what a great time to do this together. I thought I would end with just a healing improvisation. If you can grab me, Joe, the big bowl. I wanted to add the singing bowl so you can hear what that sounds like together with the flute. Yes. And thanks everybody for tuning in today. Thank you, Stephen, for being with me and bringing in such great questions and your resonance with sound healing. And you've done so much for our field. So thank
Mm,
you so much.
mm.
So I just want to begin with this beautiful sound of the singing bowl, the Tibetan bowl. And I'll just dedicate a final improvisation to healing. Healing for yourself. If you have a place in your body where you need healing or energy today, just focus, either put your hand there or just focus your concentration there. And this is kind of part of that fourth or fifth module with the bear medicine, is playing for healing.
Mm.
To all my relations, Ahome Takwiyase.
Mm. Thank you, Christine. What a blessed hour. Thank you so much for bringing your magic to us today. And for those who would like to go deeper, you can do so at nativeFluteImprov.com, and you'll get those 3 special tracks when you sign up today. So many blessings.